What is happening, everybody? Welcome to another new time for the HypeHype editor stream. This Tuesday, it's 9 a.m. here in Helsinki. But it's later in other places. 2 o'clock in the afternoon in the Philippines. How's everybody doing today? I hope you're having a good Tuesday. If you happen to be on the West Coast in the United States, I hope you had a good Monday. And, you know, maybe you can stay up and hang out for a little while before you go to bed. But, so, today is editor stream. We're going to jump back into the editor. Loka, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're having a good one. Let's jump into it here. We're going to fire up this screen. And we are going to continue working on this that we started last week. So, there's a lot of stuff to do here still, but I kind of have two primary goals for today. The first is I started to set up this system last week where the rocket could kind of tilt as it turns. You see it's kind of turning left and right there, but it's not turning up and down. So we're going to solve that. I actually solved it over the weekend, but didn't save, and then foolishly didn't load the autosave the next time I loaded it because I didn't realize that I hadn't saved. So that was my bad. But we're going to do that again. Luckily, I've already solved the problem, so we don't need to go through the whole process of figuring out why it doesn't work. I can just explain all the mistakes that I made as I fix it for real. The other thing that I want to do is, as we play this, I've spent a lot of time kind of just playing it, seeing how it feels, the rate at which all these items spawn, and I feel like the space that we're occupying here is pretty large. So I'd like to have some really large obstacles that come at a regular interval that really make you kind of go, you know, far to the side, far up, far down, so that you can't kind of just hover around in this relatively safe space right in the middle. So we're going to build some big pieces, a few variations of them, and then kind of have that be the main big obstacle. So we're going to build some new stuff here. Still have some stuff the asset replace. Obviously, we need to get rid of this tree, this plant that we keep seeing here, the cactus, and even the guy that shows up every once in a while. We need to replace all of those still. And these blue things. I'm going to replace these blue pillars. I'm not really vibing with those too much. So that's kind of my plan for today. Of course, if anybody has any questions, please do feel free to drop them in the chat. I'm always happy to take a break to answer some of your questions. Because really, the point of this stream is to help you guys get better at building your own games, not just me building my own games. So let's jump in and see where we're at here. Let's show the logic. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is fix this tilt situation. So here's what I had set up. I'll show you what I set up, and I'll explain why it was the wrong way to do it. And then I'll kind of go over a few of the potential solutions that I tried, and then ultimately what I did to fix this problem. I was also gonna, I guess I'll do it for the next one. I was gonna set up a windscreen on this thing, because I notice sometimes I get a little close to the microphone and you can hear all my breathing and stuff like that. It's not the best. Anyway, let's I might turn this music back up just a tad, not too much. Let me know if the music's a little too loud, but we might be a little bit quiet as we go into some of the more tricky aspects of this, and I have to try and figure stuff out. I might stop talking for a minute or two every once in a while, so it's good if you can hear the music. All right, so this situation. So what I had set up, there was originally on Sunshine, there was this hinge joint that makes him kind of lean to either side, and so it's basically a value controlling this minimum and maximum angle to kind of force the hinge to a certain angle. And that's what makes Sunshine lean back and forth. So I was like, all right, I'm going to use that same concept on the rocket to make the rocket lean back and forth, up and down. The problem is that these hinge joints limit movement on one axis. So basically, one of the hinge joints cancels out the other hinge joint. So we can see here, we get the left to right movement, but not the up and down movement. And then if this is the one controlling the left and right movement, or no, it's not. This is the one controlling left and right movement. If I turn that one off and turn this one on, now, oh no, it's because there's some stuff locked off in here. Let's turn that off for now. We'll just turn off all those angles for now. So we can see now we get the tilt up and down, but we don't get the left or right. Obviously, because we disabled the left or right one. But if they're both enabled, we're still only going to get the up and down, not the left and right, because the up and down hinge is preventing the left or right hinge from working. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn off this one. We're going to leave this one on because we want to get this left to right movement out of the hinge. And now instead of a hinge for the up and down, I'm going to use a transform. I had talked with Hamu, and he recommended a vector transform, but I couldn't get it to work. And I didn't want to bug Hamu about it too much. You know, he's a busy guy. He doesn't need to be solving my problems for me. So I did this transform solution, which I felt like I tried a bunch of different solutions, and this is the one that gave me the results closest to what I was looking for. So we're going to put this on. No, not to there. It's clear. We need the rocket. Yes. This is going to be rotate. We want local transform. And then we need to rotate this thing so that it is... no. Let's reset that rotation. No. This is a little wonky now because it's on... there we go. Because it's on local axes, the axes of the widget or the node is not the same as the rocket. Alright, so now we have that, and now we're going to feed it with the values from this, which is giving the up and down value. So we're just going to throw that right into there, into the amount. And let's see if that was the solution I was looking for. Not quite, actually. It's not... we are getting a little bit of up and down movement there, but it's not quite the way I had it working. Let's see, what did I have different? I think also I had this one set to local axes, which means we need to change the angle of that as well to that. Let's see, I think it might be backwards now. Yes, it's backwards. So now we need to flip it around. Okay, so we got the turn back, and we're getting a little bit of the up and down tilt, but it's not quite where it needs to be. What other aspects could I change here? I guess maybe that is how I had it working, but I really thought there was a little more pronounced movement in that up and down movement. I'm not really sure. I wonder if I did it the other way around. I'm pretty sure this is the way I did it, though. The other way around, as in the transform doing the left and right, and the hinge doing the up and down. Let's try that. And here I thought I had this problem solved. So now let's just copy this. So we can play around. This will allow us to play around with this a little bit. We're going to, yes, that's going to be Y. And it's going to be fed by this value. And now we're going to turn this one off. Turn this one off. This one is on. And now this one is on. Let's see if that does. So now we get more pronounced up and down, but the left to right is really, it's really kind of snappy. Why is it doing a snappy like that? I wonder if I had turned this off. It wouldn't really make sense, I think. But let's just see what happens. Yeah, that is what I did. Alright, there's the movement we were looking for. Alright, so now you can see it kind of really nicely points towards the direction that I'm pushing. Boom. Alright. Got that sorted. Alright, so I'm going to leave these other pieces here for now, just in case I get the itch to come back and work on this some more. Maybe think of a better solution. But I think with that, we can go ahead and close this. Let's put these two transforms in there. Alright. We don't need any of that. And then just because I forgot last time, I'm just going to go ahead and do a little save here to make sure I don't lose this again. Now, the one thing actually I do want to check here is because I turned off that affect physical, I don't think it should matter since everything else is still affecting physical. I just want to make sure, you know, this still works properly when it collides with stuff. And it seems to be. And here's another thing actually that I built over the weekend when I was messing with this. I did spend a little bit of time. But it was really hard to kind of tell when you were getting close to the ground. And this piece doesn't really like to show shadows super well. It's kind of like shiny. So it doesn't show shadows super well. So I put this little green circle here that turns pink when you get too close to it. And that way you kind of have a gauge there of where the ground is, since it's a little unclear when you're getting close to it. Okay, so now the next thing, I want to build some like really big buildings, and actually it's a good thing we saved, because I just want to make sure I saved because I'm gonna back out here. I'm gonna grab some objects from a different hype to make these buildings from. And I'm gonna do again what I did for my run jump jam entry, which is get a little more light in here for one. There we go. I'm not a silhouette anymore. Hey, what's up, guys? Okay, I'm gonna use objects from this awesome kind of. I don't want to hear that. Oh man, I forgot to. Hold on one second, guys. I'm gonna go to this screen for just a minute. Kill those notifications. I usually do that before we start, but got off to a fast start today here. So let's kill that one. Where's oh, the Discord is off already. All right, I need the. Yeah, let's turn that one off. Let's turn that one off. Let's turn that one off. Okay, there we go. Hey, Ryan, what's up, man? You having a good day? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to steal some objects from this hype, because these awesome kind of cyberpunky objects are not in the asset library. These are kind of like some old objects. I think they're kind of unoptimized, so they're not in the library. But we can steal them from hypes that have them. So let's see, which ones do we want here? We want this building. We want these windows. We want that window thing. We want that. No, not that. That we want. Yeah, we'll just take that green thing too. It's fine. Might as well. Oh, what was that? I didn't want that. No. All right, we need to start again. I want this guy. Yes, this. I'll take this one up here. What else do we want here? This thing, that's a good object. I think that's the main stuff that I wanted here. There's actually some good... Yeah, let's take these vents. And I don't know what. Oh, what did I just select there? Oh, I selected that building in the background. I don't want that. Well, it's coming. Let's see. I wanted this thing, which I guess I've selected now. Yes. And this. Oh, it's just a box. Okay. I feel like there was something else I wanted from this. Wasn't there some like pipe pieces maybe? Let's go way in the background here. Yeah, I want these pipes and these things. Let's see if that's enough. So copied, boom. Let's go back to the draft here. And now we're gonna go. I don't want to paste this in the middle of my action here, and I also want to be down here towards the end. Let's show our logic. Yes. Now let's go out to the side here. And let's pastify all this stuff. Okay. Let's bring this one a little bit closer. This stuff should all be at about -80. No, -80. Ugh. Alright, let's reset the editor view. Oh, this is such a pain. Okay. Reset the editor view. Reset the camera view. There we go. Alright, now let's go out here. We're going to start moving this stuff around. So let's just see one of these big blocks. How big is this compared to our scene? Alright, it's about there. The bottom is there. The one thing about these particular pieces, they scale pretty nicely. So there we can easily stretch it up to that size. Let's turn it. We don't want it to be so skinny here. So let's bring this up. Alright, so this will be the first piece. So I'm going to build one here, and then I'm going to build a few variations of it. So now let's move this X. Oh, we're still on scale here. We want to go... Let's make this 2.5. That's good. Now let's go back to the X here. Let's move this out to about 10. That should work. And then we want to copy it. We want to move it to -10. Also want to flip it though. Flip it, which means then we have to push it up this way. Alright, and there now we see we have a thin little middle area that we have to go through there when this piece comes up. That's what I was looking for. We do want to actually, we don't want this to be black. I don't even know if dark gray, this light gray is kind of the look of the rest of this. Let's see how that works out. And now let's kind of glue some of these detail items to it, just so that it's not a plain block here. So we got these windows, we got this sign. I think I might not use the sign because it'll get really repetitive. It's a nice detail piece, but I don't know if it's going to work for this one. But all these little detail objects, these will be nice. So let's start with the window. Let's just move this over to 0 to get it in the general area we want to be at. All right. Let's reset the rotation on it. We want it to be, I guess, this way. And we want it, oh, it's, oh, I was backwards. We want it to be this way. Yes, okay. And then we can see there's where it goes in. We definitely want this to be a little bit bigger. What if we just do a straight 2? 2 by 2. I think it could even be bigger than that. Let's do 4. Oh, that X is a dimension we don't see. So actually that X doesn't need to be quite so big. Okay, there we got a window. Let's deframe again. Let's not do the light gray. Let's do the dark gray, but not black. And then, is that rotated properly? It is. It's just, okay, it's just far away from the wall. So we want to Z this guy back a little bit to about there. Perfect. And let's center it just a little bit more there. So 11.7. Let's copy it. This is going to be that 11.7 again. And then we'll just move it up a little bit on the Y. Cool. Now both of these are going to glue to there. Oh, of course it did. Let's do that again. So now we need to go back into scale. And we need to scale down this Z to 2. That's good. Good enough, eh? 2. All right, that's better. Let's go get some more of these objects out here. This vent, that'll be a good one. And this vent, actually, I kind of want to use for that plant as well. But we're not going to do that yet. Okay. Oh, that's... Yeah, I've already messed up my plan here, but that's fine. We'll fix it. So let's go, boom. We're going to bring this vent over to this area. And then what I actually want to do is I want to get an invisible small ball. We got these new characters. Those are cool. Okay, so we got the small ball here. We want to zero that. Let's zero it here too. We're going to put it at -80. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue everything to that ball that is unscaled. So we don't need to worry about this scaling issue. And this, does this have physics? This does not have physics. So let's add physics to this because it's going to need it. We're going to put it kinematic, I think. Are all the rest of these objects kinematic? Yes, okay. And then also this one, let's go Physics. Kinematic. Okay. And now also these guys can go back some because we don't want to see them before. We don't want them to pop in when they spawn. So let's go just negative 91. That'll work there. Same with this one. We'll go negative 91. All right, and then, so there's our ball, which is our center point, and also the thing we're going to glue all these objects to. So let's, whoops, didn't mean to do that. Just reset that. We're going to detach, reset that scale, and then we had it at 4 by 4. Just delete that one altogether. Now let's glue it to the ball. Oh, I can't even see the ball there. Do I have it? I don't think that I did. Object has no parenting. Here, I can look up here. Nice. Boom. Now it's there? Yes, okay. So the window is attached to that. Now let's glue these to that. It's a little difficult since they're... I could have used a bigger object for this. But whatever. Let's see if this is even gonna work. And then this one also. Where's my glue? It's all the way up there because that's the bottom. Okay. Now I need to copy one of these. Doesn't really matter which one, I guess. Let's see. Why is that cactus down there? Let's do one of these large rocks. All right. Rock form left. We're going to copy that, but we're going to copy the whole container. And then we're going to bring this over here. Actually, we're going to bring this... Just put it down here where we're going to be working. Okay, now let's show this. Because I'm not going to be able to asset replace this. I'm going to need to manually reconnect all this stuff. So I'm going to have to jump in here and remind myself what all this stuff is doing. So we have broadcaster speed up, that controls the speed. Crash, that controls the crash. Crash. Alright, so this is one that doesn't, it just goes on a regular interval. What is the difference of the physical types? Okay, so it's pretty easy. So static is obviously, it's static. It's not meant to move. It's meant to be in a single spot. Other things can interact with it, but it shouldn't move. It's not gonna do anything. It's just there, static. Has a model in the world, not doing anything. Dynamic means that the object can be affected by outside forces, whether it's force components, other objects bumping into it, the gravity in the game world. All those things are going to affect it, make it move if the forces are great enough to make it move. And then, whoops. And then kinematic is basically if you want to make things move and be able to interact with other objects, but not be dynamic. So say you want to, for example, say you're making a gun and you have a projectile. You want that projectile, once it comes out the end of the gun, fly straight forward, basically go through anything, but there's probably either the bullet itself has an object group that other things have collision triggers for, or maybe the bullet has a collision trigger in it that activates when it collides with other objects. And so in that instance, you want kinematic. So you're essentially animating the object, but it can still physically interact with other things in the game world, but is not movable dynamically. I guess I probably didn't explain that the best. Did it make sense? But essentially, you want to use kinematic if you're going to animate something with a vector transform or a transform, or even a force, but it's not going to have dynamic physics on it. Because it is possible to animate a static object with a transform or vector transform or a force, but because it's set to static object, it's not going to interact with anything. Things aren't going to necessarily collide with it. It could just go through objects. So the kinematic kind of, it allows that object to have the physical properties of a dynamic object, but not be dynamic. Maybe? Wow, I just discovered I'm really bad at explaining these physics types. Did that make any sense at all? But it's really about use case. If you got a platform, say you're making a platformer, and you have a platform that's going to move left or right, up and down, you're going to want that to be kinematic. Because if it's dynamic, it might just fall. You can do it obviously with hinges and stuff to make it more sturdy, but much easier to use just simple animations to get an up or down, left or right movement. And then you want that kinematic so that your player can stand on it, move with it, stuff like that. Okay, so let's see what we're doing here. Oh, there's also some bunch of stuff in here. There's collision trigger. Whoa. Alright, apparently my kitchen is haunted. Things just falling off of counters. Nobody's around. That's a little spooky. Anyway. Alright, so in here we've got a collision trigger that is just doing this broadcaster, which is crash. So if the collision trigger collides with the player character, causes a crash. Alright, so we need to add that collision trigger actually to both of these big boys here. And then we have this force. Force is attached to the object. It doesn't do anything else. It's being enabled, disabled, and values are being adjusted by other things, so I don't need to worry about that. And then finally, this is comparing the Z value of the thing, and the destroyer is destroying it. Okay, so I think I know how that works. I'm going to delete that guy. I'm going to take this ball. We're going to put it in the container there. So now this whole big concoction here is part of this container. Yes. Now we need to start reconnecting some stuff. So the force target is the ball. The value target is the ball. The value target is, yes, it's saved all the settings. I don't need to worry about that. And the destroyer target is the ball. Now, each of these buildings need a collision trigger set to green group, and on collision start, they execute the crash broadcaster. Same on this side, collision trigger, green group, and execute the crash broadcaster. All right, now we need another spawner. I'm just gonna take, and actually, because we don't need to move this one. This one is always going to be spawning from the same space. So we actually don't need any of this extra logic. We can bring a whole new spawner in here. Spawner is in actions, spawner. We pretty much want to put it right on the position of that ball. I'm going to place it slightly behind the ball. So 0, 0 minus 80. So we'll make this one 0, 0. And then maybe minus 85. All right. This guy spawned from is going to be self. Yes, spawned object is going to be this group, which this is going to be this is going to be, we're going to rename this. That's what I want to do. Boom, rename. Let's say large, not of, LG, large building, and this is A because we're going to make a few of these. Okay, so that's large building A. Coming out of this spawner. For now, this spawner can just be on an interval. Let's grab an interval just so we can test it, make sure it's working. Interval, on time, execute. Let's say just every 5 seconds it's going to send one of those buildings. Might even be too slow. Let's say like every 3 seconds it's going to send one of those buildings. On time is executing the spawner. There we go. Big obstacle. Oh, I didn't loop that interval. That's why it stopped. Let's loop this for now. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. All right, and then it keeps coming. Nice. It is. Okay. Okay. And then if we hit it. Oh no. Why is that not colliding? Can I hit that? No. Okay, we got a problem here. I think it's maybe because this has no physical. This needs to also be kinematic, because everything else gets its physics state from the parent, obviously. That should have been obvious to you, Shogun. Getting some slowdown here. I've been doing some testing, and it seems like, yeah, there it works now. It seems like the slowdown I'm getting is actually caused by the screen sharing, and not necessarily the app or my phone. Okay. So now I want to add some more details to this. I was adding these windows. Let's just copy a few more of those. And I believe since I copied it and it was glued, it should automatically stay glued. Oh no, it doesn't. Okay, so we need to drag this over to the ball. Boom. And then let's take both of these. Let's copy them. We're going to put them over on the other side. These ones, though, let's put them near the top. All right, good enough. Now we're going to glue to the ball. Boom. Glue to the ball. All right, this guy we're going to make it dark gray. Let's reset the rotation here. Let's scale this boy up a little bit and actually rotate it this way. I'm going to put it on the side of this building. All right, that's not bad. It's really nice. I'm using the screen share to to glue things to that little ball because I can't see it when my finger is in front of it. Let's see if this is still working. I'm gluing more objects to this thing. I think I should probably be careful about how much I glue to this. Because if we start making that object really complex, it could start causing some performance issues for us. But right now, working really nicely. So I think I'll add a few more details to it, and then we'll build some variations. The variations being, so right now the middle is open. You know, we'll have one where just the left side is open, just the right side is open. You know, maybe just one building on the left, one building on the right. And then, of course, one that's the middle is blocked, but the sides are open. And then I was thinking maybe even somewhere like the top half would be open, the bottom half would be blocked. Awesome, Ryan. Awesome. Always here if you have questions. I noticed you're on the Discord now. If you're ever really in a pickle, you can always ping me there, send me a DM or something, and I might see it a little bit faster than questions just in the Discord channel. But let's continue here. I'm gonna do another one of these. Put it on this side. And then what was that? Let's just line these up. Let's just make this 11.7. Sure. This one too. 11.7. And then this one can also be 11.7. Put it down close to the ground. Cool. And then over here we had some pipe type pieces. Right? This one. Yes. Give me this. Those are grouped, so let's ungroup those. I want just this guy. Let's go back over to 0 here. right, and we're going to rotate this way, rotate this way. Let's again scale her up a little bit. Oh, you know what I forgot to take from this object set is the wires. The wires are a really nice piece. Let's do this. We don't want it to be black. Let's go dark gray. I think what I'm going to end up doing here is this light gray, I'm going to end up darkening it up a little bit. So that those two grays are not so different colors. And now let's see. I think this guy I didn't glue, right? No parenting. All right, so we're gonna glue you to the ball here. Yep. Not to that compare node. And then this guy also. Let's glue you. Whoops. Glue. No. Glue. There we go. To the ball. Boom. I feel like this object could actually be even bigger. Let's make it nice and large there. Nice. All right. And this one, I did glue this one, yes? Yes. Okay. Let's see how that's looking. That might be enough detail for this. And then I can start doing some variations. That's pretty nice. Got some windows, got some vents, got that pipe. I think maybe... What objects do we have? We got that little door. Oh, we got this. Is not bad, actually. Let's take this one and use this over there. Let's put it this way. Okay. That's maybe now enough detail for this thing. Probably was already, but... Okay, nice. Nice, nice, nice. And what I'm actually thinking here is... I think I'm only going to make 4 variations of this wall because I can use a 2 to 4 decoder. It has 4 outcomes. So a little bit easier to kind of just randomize 4 buildings than say 6. I mean, honestly, no, I can make as many of these as I want. It's not that difficult to do the randomization. Okay, so what we're going to do now. We have one set of this building. Let's hide it for now. We're going to copy the building, copy the container. Why did a bunch of the stuff appear outside of the container? What if we show and then hide again? Okay, it's just a visual bug there. No big deal. Let's put this just right there. Let's show it. But then the ball needs to be at Y0. Yes. Alright, so now we can play around with this a little bit. So for this one, maybe let's do well, let's do a right side building. So we're gonna just take up kind of the right side. So for now, move this out of the way. Move this one out of the way. And actually, I think we can just get rid of the building on the... I was thinking of maybe combining these. Yeah, let's do it that way. All right, so we're gonna boom, boom, boom. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What did you do? Selected something I did not want to select. Boom, yes. And then boom. Okay. So we're going to move this till it's basically almost to the center. I just don't want to cover. Oh, the ball's in front of it. Okay. That actually probably is centered. And now we take this one. We're going to move you over here. Like that, yes. And then same thing, we can bring these windows over. I think maybe we'll line the windows up this time. 7.5, is that where that one is? Whoops. Oh, because it was both of them. Let's just even these out so I can... 4.5. This will also be 4.5. And then 10.5. 10.5. Sorry, I like to be really exact with how I place these. I think that advanced details panel is really nice for being able to do exact placements like that, so I like to take advantage of it. Alright, so now we'll move this grate over here. This can go on this side. This pipe, let's flip it this way. And so now the nice thing is that once we've done this once, I now don't have to worry about gluing all this stuff anymore. I can just take the glue group or the container, and I can just move stuff around. It keeps all of its glue connections. I just want to see it look kind of like it was coming off the wall, but I guess no, it's not. This one. There we go. And then finally this guy. Let's put this guy on this corner. Okay, now we got another version of that. Boom. But it's not going to come because we still only have one spawner. So let's do a little randomization action here. Why do I feel like I'm not seeing everything? I guess I am. Let's go. This building now is kind of inside. There we go. Let's hide that. That'll make it a little bit easier. Why is it? Oh, it's this one. There we go. Okay, so now we need a second spawner. So let's copy this spawner. The group is going to be, this is going to be now large building. I think instead of A, let's call it right, since it takes up the right side. Now this interval is going to instead go to a random. Boom. The random is going to go to a compare. Boom. This is going to say, for now, it's either 0 or 1. We want an integer so that we get a whole number. On random value is going to execute the compare. No, it's not going to execute the compare. It's going to add a value to value A to the compare. Compare is going to say equal, and if it's true it does one building, and if it's false it does the other building. This is going to get more complicated as we go, but for now this will work. And then this needs to be also at 0. This is what's going to be a pain in the ass. Hopefully we don't need to edit these spawners because they're going to all end up right on top of each other. Gamer, what up? Welcome to stream. So now instead of executing this spawner, this is going to execute this random. Now we should start seeing 2 different buildings. Yep, right away we get the right building. We get the open in the center building. Nice. We get the right building. Right building again. Right building again. But already with just these 2 buildings, we're getting more of what I want here, which is some kind of forcing you to move around a little bit more to avoid those obstacles. So let's do another one. Now we're going to do large building left. Create the container, or copy the container. Let's show this. The ball moves back to 0. All right, now we're going to do the opposite side. So this is going to be the left building, which means that we want this one at -5. Yes. Oh, I should have seen what the value was on that one, but it's fine. We'll just drag this one over. I think it was like -15. That's good enough. Then we got these windows. Just move those over. these down a little bit. Let's put the windows at the bottom on the left side. And then I think this guy, I'm just going to get rid of him on this one. This one, let's put negative, no, 15 is too much. Negative 10. Put it up near the top. What is these guys at? Let's say negative 6.2. Oops, 6.2. This guy is also going to be negative 6.2. There we go. What else do we got over here? Oh, the pipe and the awning kind of ended up inside here, didn't they? Or did they? Where are those guys? They're not in here, are they? No. Huh. Where'd they go? Where'd they go? They must be inside here. I just can't see them. Yes, this one. I'm gonna flip that one around. And we're gonna move it this way a little bit. All right. And then also there's the pipe, which is right here. Let's bring the pipe this way, and then we'll, whoops, didn't mean to do that. What just happened there? All right, never mind. We'll do it with these. All right, good enough. So now we will hide that. Get ourselves another whatever that thing is, spawner. We're also going to need another compare. What is this guy doing? XL rock. I'm just going to move this out of the way for now. Let's move it over here. All right, so now our logic is going to look a little bit different. Let's actually, I'm going to make a third one of these. So the first one is going to go, I need to feed all of these values. So I guess we're just going to remove the false here. No more false. And then these, yes, remove both of these. Same with this one. So this is going to feed the A value on all of these. Come on, drag there. Thank you. Feeding the A value. Our random is now going to be 2. We have 3 objects, so we want random to be 2 because 0 counts as a number. So 0 is a number, 1, and then 2. That gives us our 3 options. So now, oh, we need to drag this back out again. This is why I shouldn't have done that yet. So now this one says if it's equal to 1, then we get output if true, execute, and then same with this one, but this is going to be equal to 2, output if true, execute. And now I'm going to leave those separated. It's going to mess up a little bit how the buildings spawn, but I just want to make sure it's working. So we got a right building there. We got a right building again. We got a right building again. I think something's not working right here. We got a right building again. Right building again. Yes, something's broken. Right building again. What did I mess up? Is one of these not set to equal? That's equal. That's equal. That's equal. So why is it just shooting out 1 every time, huh? That's what it seems like. Oh, well, this actually is not connected to the right thing. So that would be one problem. And then just, let's see what this is doing. Oh, it's not going to show us that? But there we immediately got the left building. So something is working now. We got the left building again. We got the right building. We got the left building. We got the right building. We're not getting, there's the center building. Okay. Boom. Boom. Awesome. Working. Boom, boom. Sweet. All right, let's do it again. So, I'm going to leave those separated for now. At the end, we can put them all on top of each other. But we do need to copy, create new container, show hide. Let's put it up here. First, let's rename this one, was large building left. And then this one is going to be I'm going to call this one short right. And actually, that's fine. That's fine. So, short right, let's show it here. The ball needs to be at 0. Cool, cool, cool. Now what we're gonna do is take this boy, 10 positive, yes, but then we're going to Y 1, nice. And then this one is gonna go -10, cool, cool, cool. Put these windows towards the center more. I'm gonna have 3 windows on this side and only 1 window on the short side. see. Let's call this a -3. Call this 3, which means this one should be 9. Even spacing. I like it. All right. Throw this. Let's actually put this one on the side of the building here. I haven't been doing enough of the side of the building of these. I think I want another one of these pipes on this one. And that means I'm going to need to glue this guy to the ball. Oh, of course, right when I'm doing this, it gives me a bunch of lag in the screen share. Did that work? Yes. And I'm going to get rid of this one on this. We don't need that one. Oh, we haven't set up the spawner for you yet. So let's hide that. We need the spawner and the compare. We're going to copy those. This guy's gonna be 3. This one is going to be short right. No. Short right. There we go. And then the compare now needs to, or the random needs to go to 3 as well. Center building. We got why does it seem like something's not working right there? There was too long of a gap between buildings. Did I not set this correctly? Equals 3, right? This one was 2, yes. Ah, it's not getting fed, that's why. Random value to compare value A. There we go. There's the shorty, all right. Okay. So that is kind of working now. I would like to make some more of these buildings, but I think for the time being, maybe I'm going to move on from this. Well, we could do one more. Let's do a short left. It'll be a pretty easy one. So this is going to be short left. And for this one, just to kind of keep it simple, I think I'm going to pretty much just mirror this. So we put this back to 0 so we can see the sizes. This we can go scale, put this back to 2, booyah. This one, scale this down to 1. Ooh, I like that. The short is on top. I'm gonna leave it that way. I dig it. Okay. Let's put 2 windows there. Oops, it's still on scale. Just gonna need to make these a little bit closer together. And then this one window can just go to the other side. So we'll unnegative that. Put it up a little bit higher. This should be at the same. Okay, so short left. And now you can see here we've done a few variations. We could easily do like a number of more variations to this, and I probably will. But for now, we're gonna leave it like this so that we can continue on with some of these other things that I see that I would like to do. So one last time, we're gonna copy these 2. This one is taking short left. Yes. This one is being fed by 4. And this one is going to 4. And on random, let's see if we can get to this. Here we go, value A. So I think the one thing it's missing here now is maybe one that goes all the way across just on the bottom and all the way across just on the top. I think if I'm doing more, those are probably the next 2 that I'm doing. Also, the frequency of these could probably be a little bit faster. They're coming fairly far apart there. I don't want to make them too close together, but at the same time, they should come fairly quickly. There's a little, a little bit of a rendering bug there too. Not necessarily a bug, it's just since this one thing is an irregular shape, it kind of renders different from a distance as it does from up close. Alright, so I'm going to just put all these back to 0 so that these actually spawn in the right location. Yeah, I definitely think the frequency of those needs to be a little bit higher. So let's look at this. It's doing every 3 seconds. Let's see if we put it to 2 seconds. It feels like it would be a lot, but they're coming pretty quick, so... yeah, I think the other problem there, though, with that is I get too many of those going, and it's giving me some slowdown. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, I know the slowdown is partially coming, at least, from the screen sharing. So I bet if I play this without the screen sharing on, it performs better. But I do want to be conscious of how many of those big buildings I'm shooting at the player at any given time. But this too seems to be not bad. And then there's one thing I think I'm going to turn off, which is the increase in speed. Because basically there was a problem with the original, what I remixed this from. Speaking of, let's just save a file here. I haven't saved in a little while. There was an issue in the hype that I remixed this from, where the speed increases and the duration in between objects being spawned kind of decreases, but it's not at an equal rate. So essentially you get to a point where the objects are kind of moving so fast that they're coming really far apart. And I don't want to do that on this one. I think giving it a consistent speed is going to be better. So I'm just going to come out here and I'm going to find, I think it is this one, speed up. Just disable that. We don't need to do that. And then also, if we're not increasing speed, I think we also don't want to increase the speed to a counter there. So I'm just going to turn off this counter for now. We don't need to see it. So now these things are moving at a consistent pace. Oh, what's inside the building? Oh, okay. Okay, but this is going all right. All right. It's still pretty easy. So I might need to just, in general, crank up the speed a little bit. Well, I think the next thing I want to do here is actually build the wall. So, let's, we don't want to hide logic actually, because we're going to go back down here and I need to be able to see let's go to this first one. Let's show it, because we're going to place the wall here so that it lines up more or less with the edge of this building. So what am I going to use as a wall here? We had this nice large tile set that I used for the floor and the ceiling, but that can't be turned on its side, and I don't think we have a tile set that big for walls. But let's take a look here. What do we have? What if I just search wall? Oh, why did it go to walk? I want wall. There was big, simple wall. What does this piece look like? Where is it? There it is. Okay, that's interesting because it has some texture to it. Let's see, how big is it? If we scale it up to 5, will it stretch across the whole thing? I'm not sure. Yes, it will. Cool, 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 cool. Alright, we don't even need to go all the way to 5. We can scale that down, back down a little bit. 4.5. And then we also want, I think it's going to be Z. Yeah, let's just put Z all the way up to 5. And then color-wise, this is going to be light gray, and light gray. Could maybe make the little one, middle one, dark gray, not the end one. That's weird. The middle one? No. Should have done that while they were separate colors. Okay. And now let's Z movement here. Oh, we can't do this because these don't move. What am I thinking? This is static. So it'll be clear that we're not moving because we'll see that these walls are not moving. Theoretically, I could make the wall move too. That feels excessive to me. I gotta worry about performance. We don't need that. It would be nice, but it's unnecessary. So we're not gonna do that. We need a big, solid piece here. So we got tile set, cube, special shading. That's not what we're looking for. I think it also uses the wrong axes. This tile set, simple platform. What about this hockey rink wall? How big is that? That's so small. Yeah, that's way too small. We just need a big flat object. You know what I might end up doing here? I can probably use one of these buildings, not the one that's in the glue group there. Let's take a one that's outside of the glue group here. And then if we rotate this way and rotate that way, this is a nice big piece. So let's go to the scale here. Yeah, we don't need it to be fat. We can go all the way skinny there. This goes up. We can go to 2. I'm thinking if I want that angled side so that you can see it, or if this should just be totally flat. I think we're going to go totally flat for now. This also should be light gray. We don't need to worry about that. We're not going to see it. And Y scale, we want all the way 5. And so this now, bring this in, bring this back to -80. To on the X, bring it in to about 16 there. That seems pretty good. 16. Now we have that wall. Whoa. All right. And then this actually almost stretches the whole way we need it to stretch. It's just a little bit too short, which is kind of annoying. I do want to, though, let's make this 2.5. That's better. Okay, and now we're going to duplicate this again. We're going to, what was the position of this? 16 even. So we'll put this at 16. And then this at like minus 20 maybe? Oh, not quite far, or a little too far. So let's try minus 30. It's okay if they overlap a little bit. No, we don't want to see that seam. So let's bring these to where they're barely overlapping. That's pretty good. So there we go. Now we have a wall there that we can run into. Right, we can run into that. No, we can't. This needs to have unmovable object, yes. As well as this one, unmovable object. And then this one that we can actually run into also needs a collision trigger, looking for green, setting off a crash broadcaster. Crash.
So far away, it's almost impossible to imagine. Am I alone, or is there a wonderful person next to me? Well, knowing me, I'm sure you're causing all kinds of trouble for lots of different people.
So now if we boom, explodify, you go off the screen there a little bit because I'm locking some camera movement. I could, now that we have an actual wall and we know its location, I can open up that camera movement a little bit. So right now the minimum is 10. We could move it to probably about 14 there without clipping through that wall. Yep.
Now a big cheer from my heart.
Okay. Now this is starting to get a little more challenging. Start to feel the pressure a little bit more now that you're boxed in there. Alright, so now we just want to take these, boom, both of these. We're going to copy them. We're going to move them to minus 16. And then we also want to rotate this way so that it's a solid wall. Now we have solid wall on both sides. Boom. Okay. Starting to come together now. I'm not super vibing with the fog at the moment, though. I think I need to mess with some fog colors here. Let's see. Fog colors. Let's go to world here. Visual, world, colors. Fog color, let's make it a little lighter, a little less purpley. And then the background colors. Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. A little less purple there. A little lighter. There we go. And then I'm just going to match all these colors to that so that our vanishing point there is a little... Can I... What if... I'm gonna bring this in even more. See how that goes. It's all right. The problem I'm having with is you can clearly see that it just feels like the tunnel is growing instead of we're traveling through it. And I'm not sure what the best solution there is going to be. I think we kind of want those fog colors to really match the light gray color. So what if we go visual materials here, light gray. We're going to use that same kind of purpley gray, just a little dash of purple there. That's a little smoother now. Not feeling quite so much like those objects are popping out of the wall. But at the same time, you don't see them coming as easily. So let's see if we go world, visual. Let's lower that fog value back down. Let's bring this way down. We want to see those objects coming. Oh no, what did I do? Oh, I hit save. Okay. Doesn't hurt to save. Okay. It's a little better. It still kind of feels a little bit like those buildings are popping into existence. Which is really what I want to get rid of here. Oh! I think we might need some different gray tones here. So the buildings and the obstacles can be a little bit darker than the wall and the ceiling and floor. This is kind of like pretty mellow though, like with this chill music playing. I'm just cruising through this tunnel. I think there might need to be, I need to figure out the speed thing. Because definitely if I keep this consistent speed, this is too easy. The speed needs to ramp up as you go. So I'm going to have to do some math to solve that interval problem between spawned objects. Too easy. Okay. Hey, thank you. I'm glad you like them. Okay, so where are we at here? Let's get rid of these trees and whatnot. Those are starting to bother me a little bit. So we're going to hide these. We don't want to see you. Large building, hide. Oh, this, we should add this is going to feed the seed value on that random, which is up here. Let's So this is the seed. Yes, that's what we want to do. And now I want to go find rock form right, rock form left, 2-time box. We've done those. The plant. All right, so I'm going to replace this plant, I think, with that vent. I really like that vent object. Do we have another one here? No. So, oh, I should have saved one from that. I think what I'm going to do, I don't want to, well, yeah, I can do that. Let's go, just open up one of these. Any one of these should have the vent. Yes, it's there. Let's copy the vent, and I think it's automatically, object has no parenting, so it should be not in there. Yes, let's bring this. Let's bring it up here for now to where the plant is. We're going to turn it that way. And now the force is going to affect that. The value inspector's looking at that, and the destroyer is looking at that. Plant can go away. Let's bring this guy down. Let's find ground level for this object is negative 7.2. So now we find the plant spawner. It's probably going to be one of these. Spawner plants. Perfect. And its position is going to be negative 7.2. And then also in here, we need to change this y to negative 7.2. Perfect. And now I think we're probably going to have to rotate that. This object is going to come out at the wrong angle. Let's see. If it's going to come out at all. Where is it? Okay, it's not spawning at all. So all right, no point in continuing there. Why are you no spawny, my friend? Aha! Because I replaced all those connections, but I did not place this homeboy in the container. There we go. There's the grate. As suspected, it's spawning at the wrong angle. So to fix that, we just take the spawner, use spawner local transform, yes, and then let's rotate it that way. I think is what we're gonna want. Yes, now we have some grates on the floor. It's a kind of a bad angle, so let's also spin this way twice. And then we should see, yes, the grates on that vent. Boom, better. All right, and now that's just a nice kind of little visual indicator to make it seem like the ground is moving when in fact the ground is not moving. All right, I can dig it. Whoops. Oh man, no, I messed up my screen size. Nope. Come on. Do. Come on, are you gonna make me reset this when I got like 10 minutes left in the stream? That's annoying. Can I just resize it from here? Yeah, okay. Let's just do a little wonky resize action. Wow, how did it get so small? About there. That's good. Good enough. Okay, question. Oh my god, I did it again. Okay, I gotta stop doing that. Will HypeHype add multiplayer to play with friends? Yes. Multiplayer is being worked on as we speak. I do not know when it will be ready, but it is definitely a big, hotly anticipated feature that will be coming. How do you know all these controls? I've been using this for a little while. I've been using HypeHype for a little over half a year now. And I've used similar editors in the past. So I had a little bit of a head start when I started using it as well. And then, question from Brian. How do you make a collision trigger with an object that you can pass through? I think this should be an easy answer if I understand the question correctly. I'm just going to go to a completely different hype. So what you want here is, let's just back out of here. We're going to be done with this one for today. We've made some nice progress there. Let's open up an example here. All right. So let's say this is, I think this was another example I made for you, Ryan. So what we have here, there's a collision trigger in this box. Or no, the collision trigger is in the ball. And when the ball hits the box, it starts that animation. So let's say we want the ball to not hit the top of the box like it currently does. Hits the top of the box, the animation starts. Let's say we want the ball to be able to pass through. We're going to go to advanced, we're going to go to physical, and then we're just going to turn on that sensor. And basically that means now with the sensor ticked, the object still has all of its dynamic physical properties, but it essentially has no collision model that will collide with other objects. The collision model is still there to detect when the collision with an object has happened, but you're not going to actually get the physical collision. So if we test this now, the ball is going to fall right through, and then the animation is going to start. I feel like I just answered that question, but yes, HypeHype will add multiplayer to play with friends. It is being worked on as we speak. All right, we got a few minutes left here. You got any more questions? We can roll out the day with some questions. If there's anything else you would like to know. The sensor is really good if, for example, you want to make invisible triggers. So you turn that sensor on, and then you can basically place a physical trigger anywhere in the world, turn it invisible, and it'll sense when things run into it, but it will not... I just completely lost my train of thought. You won't collide into it. You know, like normally if we were to take, let's just say, let's add a playable character here. Pre-made playable character. Okay. Bring this guy. So, and then I'm just going to turn off the physics on this ball for a minute. Alright, so we have this playable guy here. Why is there... Oh, I think I accidentally deleted the camera from this hype. I shouldn't have loaded the autosave. But anyway, so there's that box is there. Why would... Oh, because this timer was still going. Let's turn this off too. So right, we have this box, we can see it, we can run into it. Not cool. Well, cool, because it's a box in the game world. But if we turn this box invisible, but still leave it having all of its physical properties, see, we can still run into it there. We can still kind of probably stand on top of it if we land on it. So if we wanted that box to be a trigger, you know, we would run into it. But if we turn on that sensor, now it's invisible. It also we can walk right through it, but it still retains that physical body so that it knows when the player character has touched it, and it can still activate its trigger. So, I think you mean kind of like what just kind of happened there when I was demoing that. Like if we scale this up a little bit. Oops, it's still invisible. Let's turn the visuals back on. So we have this object. If we jump... Oh, the sensor is still on. Sorry. Turn the sensor off. If we jump into that object, we can kind of... Whoops. Oh. We can kind of push against and we'll just kind of float. That's what you're talking about? You want to avoid that. So the easiest way to avoid that is to go into the physical properties here, physical materials. You make yourself a new physical material. I usually, whoops, not copy. I usually just call it wall, because this is something you generally want to use on walls. And then just take that friction. Boom, 0 friction. Now we're going to apply that physical to this piece. So this piece is now a wall. Let's make it bigger so that we can really see what's happening here. And so now if we jump up against that wall, you can see we slide right back down. The one disadvantage to that is that now this whole block has that no friction. So for example, if we jump on top of it, it's going to be a little slidey. It's not going to be as bad as it seems like it might be. You know, because the character controls still kind of drop. I don't know why he's not recognizing it as the ground. But I would say if you're going to do this method, it would be probably a good idea to put something else as the floor. So you're... I don't know why that... What object group is this? That's why. I think because that Raycaster's looking for gray object group. Yeah. So you see here, with this particular player control, it's not a problem. The way this player control works, he doesn't slide around a lot. But if you had something that was maybe working with different functions, different material types, it might slide around too much on the top of that platform because the platform has no friction. So the easy solution to that was just have a separate object that is your actual platform that the player can stand on. All right. I think if there's no more questions, this is going to be where we will call it a day. I will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow, Wednesday. I'll be starting at 11 a.m. Helsinki time, which is pretty much right now. So right now, tomorrow, 24 hours from this moment, I'll be firing up a new editor stream. I'll continue to work on that tunnel rocket hype I've been working on. I am also definitely available for questions. Should you have any questions, please come by and ask them at any point. Feel free to interrupt me with your questions. I love answering the questions, and it gives me a nice break mentally when I get stuck in building. Go kind of solve a problem, come back, look at things with a fresh eye. It's not a bad thing. So until then, hope you guys have a great Tuesday wherever you are in the world. I will see you tomorrow. Oh, I gotta start locking that screen rotation. But I'll see you around. Peace.